Hello and welcome back to Nerd Doc. In this video we're going to explain the ending, unique credit scene, and certain plot points of Prey, the new Predator movie on Hulu. We'll also cover what's going on with the Prey sequel, and our theories about the potential sequel plot. There will be spoilers for Prey in this video. While we did not do a full video review for Prey, you can find a link to our Instagram in the description below with our thoughts on the film. We also update our Instagram with daily Marvel and DC rumors and news if you want to give us a follow. There are chapter timestamps if you wish to jump around the video, and if you have any questions or just want to give your opinion on the new Predator movie, leave a comment below. Prey takes place in 1719 and focuses on Naru, a young Comanche woman, as well as a Predator's first trip to Earth. As a female, Naru is supposed to be a healer and prepare food for the band, but she's also a skilled warrior and wants to go out hunting with the men of her band. When a lion appears, Naru helps the men track and kill the lion, although she's knocked out before she can actually kill it. Naru continues to see signs of the Predator's presence, including its ship within the clouds, tracks on the ground, and some of the wildlife it skins. When Naru tries to warn the men of her band, she refers to the Predator as a Mupit. A Mupit was a fur-covered giant who roamed the earth and used a full-grown tree as a walking cane. Children were told tales of the Mupits if they misbehaved, with parents scaring them by saying that a Mupit would come and eat them if they didn't stop crying or continued to misbehave. It's kind of like the Comanche version of the boogeyman. The hunters all laugh at Naru because they think she's chasing a children's fairy tale. The next day, Naru goes out to track the Predator and comes across a field of skinned buffalo. She then stops to pray at one of the dead buffalo. This is because buffalo are seen as very spiritual creatures to the Comanche and symbols of honor and generosity. Their horns and hides were often used in the creation of religious artifacts. Seeing so many killed and skinned was a very emotional moment for Naru. After paying her respects and surviving a run-in with the Predator, Naru ends up being captured by a group of Frenchmen that have a history in the Predator mythos. Naru eventually obtains a very specific pistol that belonged to one Raphael Adolini. If that name sounds familiar, it's because it's from the Predator 1718 comic book as well as Predator 2. In the comics, Adolini was a pirate captain searching for lost treasure off the coast of Africa. During a mutiny, the crew ran into a Predator elder known as Greyback, who essentially helped Adolini by slaughtering his crew. When it came time for Adolini to fight the Predator as the last man standing, he was shot in the back by a nearly deceased crewmate. Before Adolini died, he gave Greyback his personal pistol inscribed with his name and 1715, the year the pistol was made. Fast forward to Predator 2 in 1997. After Mike Harrigan, Danny Glover's character, kills the city hunter Predator inside the Predator ship, Greyback appears and gives the same pistol to Harrigan as a trophy of sorts for his successful kill of the city hunter. While the pistol showing up in Prey changes the canon setup in the comics, if there's a sequel to Prey, it can fix things somewhat so that Greyback is still gifted the pistol so he can give it to Mike Harrigan in 1997. The Frenchman captured Naru, but also managed to capture her brother. While they're both tied to a dead tree to be used as bait to lure out the Predator, her brother jokes about Naru choosing the Predator as her kutamia. The kutamia is brought up multiple times throughout the movie. When Comanche come of age, they take part in the kutamia, which is a rite of passage ritual. It takes several years to prepare for the kutamia and usually involves their first hunt, killing a buffalo. In the case of Prey, Naru chooses a lion, but when she fails to kill it, she then chooses the Predator. As you might expect, the movie ends with Naru fighting and killing the Predator. Earlier in the film, she came across a quagmire, which acts much like quicksand, where she almost drowned. She was able to escape by using her makeshift Kyoketsu Shoge-like weapon, which is an axe attached to a rope. Toward the end of the movie, she comes back across this area while preparing for the final encounter with the Predator. Naru uses what looks like orange hibiscus flower petals to lower her body temperature. Since predators hunt with a form of infrared vision, if something looks cold, they assume it's dead. This happens multiple times throughout the movie. In the real world, hibiscus are known to lower your body temperature, so this actually checks out. Although when the Predator attacked a snake earlier in the film, it doesn't actually work since snakes are cold-blooded, but we'll just assume it happened to be warm at the time and let that one slide. Naru deals a great deal of damage to the Predator while she's somewhat hidden from his view due to her lowered body temperature. This allows her to grab his headgear, which serves as a targeting system for his dart-like projectile attack. This Predator from the 1700s isn't quite as high-tech as the ones we see in the other movies nearly 300 years later. Just like Americans moved from bows and arrows to semi-automatic rifles and other high-tech weaponry, The weapons the predators use have also advanced over time. Naru arranges the targeting helmet so that it's pointing toward the quagmire. She then lures the predator into the quagmire and baits it into shooting its projectile weapon. Without the targeting helmet on, the projectiles miss Naru because remember, her body temperature is still lowered, but no matter where the predator shoots, the projectiles always land wherever the laser sights of the targeting helmet are pointing. Naru noticed this earlier in the movie when the predator's helmet was previously knocked off. With the time Naru had to set the trap, the helmet was now pointing directly at the predator, allowing Naru to kill him with his own weapon. When Naru returns to her band with the predator's head, she is given the honor of War Chief, which was previously given to her brother, who perished at the hands of the predator. In traditional Comanche bands, the War Chief was the person who led the war party or hunting party. It was almost always a man, which is why it's so significant that Naru now holds this position. She begins to celebrate as the credits roll. While there isn't a traditional post-credit scene in Prey, the credits themselves serve as a scene. The first part of the credits show the events of the film through animated drawings made to resemble rock art that was common among the Comanche. The animation covers all the main beats of the film, but goes beyond the ending. This small extra bit of story shows multiple predator ships coming through the clouds and moving toward Naru's band of Comanche, effectively setting up a sequel. Back in June, the director of Prey said that there have been discussions for multiple sequels that could be developed after the release of Prey. His intent is to do things that have not been previously done in the Predator franchise. Any Prey sequels are likely reliant on the success of the first film on Hulu, but given the overall quality of the film and the current critical reception, it seems likely at least one sequel will happen. It's very possible that any new movies from the same director could jump around to different time periods instead of giving us a direct sequel to Prey. There's no telling what the story would be in that case, so we'll just explore what a direct sequel to Prey could look like. The sequel would continue to focus on Naru and her band of Comanche. We saw at the end of the film that Naru's achievements had started to inspire the other young women of the band. While we saw multiple Predator ships coming to Earth, there's no timeline for their journey. Chances are, a number of years will have passed. During this time, Naru will have encouraged more women of the band to become warriors like herself. Therefore, instead of Naru having to outsmart the new Predator, she'll likely have a full group of female warriors to join her, similar to the Dora Milaje and Black Panther. And while only one Predator will likely partake in the hunt, Greyback, the elder Predator, will be present on one of the ships. As Naru's weaponry would still be fairly primitive, she won't be able to simply overpower the Predator and will have to outsmart it if she wants to survive. At the end of the movie, Naru mentions moving the band to a location that's more easily defended, which means she will likely have some special traps already set up near the new settlement. Naru will lure the Predator to the location of the traps and deal with it there. In typical Predator fashion, she'll lose almost all of her warriors, but end up victorious in the end. Alternatively, if the writers want to maintain the canon set in Predator 2, at some point Naru will hand over the Raphael Adolini 1715 pistol to Greyback. Perhaps after besting the Predator, Greyback rewards Naru with a trophy of some kind. In return, Naru will give Greyback the pistol. A darker version of the ending would have Naru dying and offering the pistol to Greyback, similar to the Predator 1718 comic book ending. So what did you think of Prey? If we get a sequel, do you think it will follow Naru or jump to a different point in time? What kind of plot do you think we'll see in the potential sequel? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. For now, that wraps up our video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with someone who loves the Predator franchise.